What's up guys? In today's video we're going to be talking about this new shoe from Nike. This is the Nike SB Force 58. But really I think we should just call it the budget dunk. Leave it in the comments below if you think that this shoe looks like a Nike dunk. Basically from what I can tell, this is Nike's attempt to create a more accessible version of the dunk without using the name dunk. That way they can keep the hype going with the whole Nike SB dunk line, but also make a dunk basketball type looking shoe more accessible to more skaters. This shoe is $75 retail on tactics.com. I mean, depending on the dunk nowadays, dunks can go for thousands of dollars, but I think retail dunks go for a little bit over $100. The problem with it though is that they sell out so quick. You've got to enter a raffle, you've got to jump through a lot of hoops to get your hands on some dunks. So the whole shtick with this shoe is whether or not this is a good dunk replacement for skaters that like skating dunk shoes, but they're not willing to pay through the nose to get dunks every time that they want to buy a new skate shoe. Right out of the gate you can tell this is a slightly slimmed down version of the dunk. It's got pretty much the same paneling all around, very similar, but you can see the toe is a little bit more slim, but top down it does look just like a dunk. Now on the bottom they've got the same tread that you would have on the Nike Nyjah, so this is not your classic dunk tread, but I have skated the Nyjahs and I know that this tread pattern works. However, I have heard complaints that these shoes offer little to no impact protection. It's like they're a cup sole, but they're made to be as vulcanized feeling as possible. So I've been hearing a lot of talk about these shoes. Today is going to be a really straightforward video. I'm just going to go to the skate park, get a session. We're going to test the board feel, we're going to test the flick, the impact, and then at the end I am going to let you know whether or not I think that these compare to Nike dunks. So with that, let's go to the skate park.
Do great and they talk bad on you. No need, no face, cause they're not factual. I won't stay too long here, I'm just passing through. I might hit the bank and get a bag or two. My mama asked me why you got that cash on you. Second you switch up, they might get mad at you. No, you're not my friend, so no, I'm taxing you. You're all like my sons, I'm going dad on you. Okay, good job, get mine, no prob. Hit my line, you're irking me, I hit that woosah. No, I don't got perks on me, I sleep good on God. Spend that money, make it reappear, ta-da. I've been getting paid, I've been eating good, I've been putting on some weight. If I got a problem, I just call my brother babe. This is like a warning shot to get up out my face. This is like a warning shot to get up out my way. This is like a warning shot to get up out my lane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the 7. My girl said I'm a dog, but all dogs go to heaven. Thank the Lord when I wake. I've been sleeping like a baby, cause I know my paper straight. Another day to the grave. I get it cause I got to. I got kids, I need to bang. Thank the Lord when I wake. I've been sleeping like a baby, cause I know my paper straight. Another day to the grave. I get it cause I got to. I got kids, I need to bang. I've been getting paid, I've been eating good, I've been putting on some weight. If I got a problem, I just call my brother babe. This is like a warning shot to get up out my face. This is like a warning shot to get up out my way. This is like a warning shot to get up out my lane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the 7. My girl said I'm a dog, but all dogs go to heaven.
Alright guys, that was a super fun session. At first, I had a really hard time getting used to these shoes. I heard a lot of people saying on YouTube that they're really, really thin, but I had the exact opposite experience. So this is coming from somebody that really likes skating like slip-ons, but switched from slip-ons to something thicker just for like more foot protection. However, my ideal shoe is kind of halfway between a cup sole and a slip-on. So far my favorite shoe has been the Kyle Walker Pro 2, but this might actually take the cake. We'll see how it does over the long haul, but I felt like this shoe had the perfect amount of impact protection and board feel. I definitely noticed that I lost a little bit of board feel from the Kyle Walker Pro 2s. However, I was kind of hoping that I would, because I was wanting a little bit more impact protection, which these have. Now, obviously, there's a reason people are saying that they don't have any impact protection. It's because they don't have like an insane amount, but for me, they have plenty. I feel like this is the perfect sweet spot between cup sole and Volk, which is what they were going for. I think they say that on their website, and I think that they nailed it as far as the outsole goes. The only question is how it's going to hold up as I skate it longer. The flick on these shoes is beautiful. I was expecting it to be a little too chunky, but honestly, after a few kickflips, I was feeling the flick on these. It grabs really, really well, and it's a nice, effortless flick. Not too pointy, not too bulky, just right in the middle. I love the flick on these shoes, as well as the heel flips. The heel flips did incredible for me. I was really feeling my heel flip in these shoes. Again, the heel is not too bulky that you feel like it feels weird where you're wearing it, but it's big enough, it's chunky enough that you do get a good, solid flick on the heel. Now, the only thing that I do have to say negative about these shoes is you can see how sweaty they are. They don't breathe the best, but that's okay. I feel like my feet sweat in whatever shoes I wear, so that's not a huge issue for me. But then the biggest no-no would be these laces right here. One session in, these laces are already starting to rip. Luckily, Lifetime Laces sends me free laces every once in a while, so I'm just gonna swap them out for the Lifetime laces. If you get these shoes, I would suggest checking out Lifetime laces as well, because really that's the only drawback for me. The grip wasn't super grippy on flat ground, but felt just perfect on my board. And then you can't see, but inside there's these like kind of like bubbles that fit into that indent in your heel where like your Achilles is. There's like that indent, and these like bubbles pinch around your ankle and like hold your foot really snug in the shoe, which I personally thought felt great. I was a huge fan of how these felt. They do feel a little bit narrow in the midfoot. However, towards the toe box area, there was plenty of space for your toes to breathe. And this is just one day in. I'm sure that these are gonna break in and feel even better over time. But yeah, I was super stoked on how I skated with them. At first, I was like, man, these things are chunky. Everything felt just like a little bit like my foot was just like slipping off my board, like I was detached from my board. But then as the session went on, I started to feel really, really comfortable with them. And I think the reason is because they're a little bit chunkier than what I'm used to. They have a little bit more impact protection. I felt a lot more confident like going for tricks. You saw I ollied down the quarter pipe. I did a bunch of flat ground tricks. I just felt really comfortable jumping up and coming down. So I'm a huge fan of this outsole that Nike's done. I'm a huge fan of the look of the shoe. I mean, the only thing is it's already getting dirty, but I mean, that's skateboarding. So yeah, really, really hyped on this shoe, hyped on how I skated. Can we just take a moment to appreciate that backside flip I did? I surprised myself with that one. I was like rolling away and I was like, that felt so good. I almost left right before that. I was like, man, I think I'm done. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do one more trick. I'm gonna do a backside flip up to step up, see if I can finally get a good one. They've been feeling so wild for the longest time, so it's really, really felt good to flick and catch and rotate through a good one. Also, I did a couple tray flips, trying to stick on my promise of doing a tray flip every single video. And I even did a fakie tray in the flat ground portion of the video, as well as a fakie big flip. Like, who is this guy? Flat ground guy? I don't know him. Yeah, super stoked. Definitely feeling these shoes. I was skating great in them, so I got mine from tactics.com. They've got a few different colorways. I definitely recommend checking these shoes out, but with the disclaimer that I have not skated them more than one session. So I'm just giving you my first impressions, but these shoes feel solid, and I'm pretty confident that I'm gonna like them over the long haul. So thank you guys so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram at @TheLocalJoe. Remember to make every single day Friday. I hope you guys are killing it and chasing your dreams, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.